My co-host Lolo has been operating her record store here in Little Haiti since 2005, and she comes from a musical family. I can't wait to find out why she chose this neighborhood for a store and how music has shaped her life and her career. Let's go. Lolo, how you doing? Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Lolo Reskin, my co-host. She is the owner of Sweat Records here in Miami. So you come from a long history of record stores and musicians?
Just music in general. My grandfather Alan was a violin player. My grandmother Joan was actually a violin soloist who toured and put out records and was kind of a pioneering female in that world back in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
Which I'm super proud of, obviously. And my dad went to Juilliard for trumpet, and he's still an active working musician and a composer. But my grandfather Alan, back in the day, he had a musical instrument and classical sheet music store in Coral Gables called Allegra Music. So that's like, I'm the second Reskin to open a music store in Miami, even though they didn't do records and we don't do instruments, but same world.
Exactly, yeah. No, that's cool. So this is really nice that you're just keeping the family tradition of music alive.
Yeah, I mean, they really instilled it in me, and I realized thankfully at a very young age that if I didn't have a career that focused on music, I wouldn't be a happy person. When I was 16, I got a job at the Virgin Megastore that used to be in Miami, which was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I was thrilled. I was so happy to be there, and I literally would do any menial task that they asked me for any amount of time. For me, it was an incredible experience, you know, to work in this temple of music that had hundreds of thousands of CDs of genres that I'd never even, you know, thought about.
At that point, did you think, oh, one day I'm gonna have my own record store?
Not in the beginning, but after a few years, and after a few years in the DJ and indie band and nightclub scene, I did sort of start thinking, and basically had a moment where I thought, hey, I want there to be this shop. Why not me? I've sold music to so many people in the city, and I know what the scene's like and what people are interested in.
How did you end up here?
In Little Haiti?
In Little Haiti, yeah.
So we originally opened in 2005 down in what they call Edgewater now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Hurricane Wilma had other ideas for that location, and it was destroyed at the end of 2005. And thankfully, we're actually next door to Churchill's Pub, which is a Miami musical landmark.
Yeah.
It's a British bar that's been here in Little Haiti since 1978. And thankfully, the old owners, after the hurricane destroyed Sweat, offered us a kind of temporary space inside the bar toward the back.
Okay.
So we had a temp space at Churchill's, and then we always knew that we wanted this space that was kind of empty, and we pretty much put dibs on it, and as soon as it became available, moved right in.
So you have the record store. Now you also DJ.
Yeah, definitely. I've been DJing out in public since I was in my teens in high school, and I've done it ever since. I love playing music for people, watching a room. When I first started playing, I was playing some really eclectic music. I was really into music from Japan, and in the late 90s, it was really hard to buy vinyl from Japan, and if you could find a piece, it was like $50 a piece. So I pretty much started on digital just by virtue of necessity, and I continued on that for a while until I switched to pure digital. My record collection is very awesome, and it stays at home where it's nice. Once in a while, I DJ vinyl out, but more for like special occasions or theme sets, but I still love to do it.
Well, Lolo, thanks for sharing your musical history with us. And I see the outside of your building is also a homage to musical history.
Yeah, we call it our wall of idolatry. And, you know, there's a lot of people in music we love that get a lot of credit. We wanted to give some credit to people who don't get as much always. So we have our heroes like Iggy Pop and Grace Jones and Bjork and Prince and people that have made our lives in music better just by being exposed to what they do. So I can't wait to share Jumaane's story with you. His dad was actually a gallerist, and he's been carrying on that legacy, first in Chicago and Detroit, then to Wynwood, and now in his new space that's opening up right here in Little Haiti. Let's go see what he has to show us. We're here at the brand new Little Haiti location of Anamdi Contemporary, which is the awesome art gallery run by my fantastic co-host, Jumaane. You've been in the arts pretty much your whole life, right?
Well, my father, he started at the GR Anamdi Gallery back in 1981. And his whole thing, he was a developmental psychologist.
Wow.
So he was like, well, you know, the way to really get people to understand their culture and themselves is through the arts. So what I'm gonna do is start a gallery, and I'm gonna get people to collect and preserve their culture through the arts and give them a sense of foundation in themselves. So I grew up with that mentality about the art. So I just really grew up around these great artists who became friends and family to me. and just having the opportunities to see it every day. And I knew one day, well, I thought I was going to go into education, to tell you the truth, like my mom who started the school. And I realized the kids didn't really listen to me. I was more like a friend. So I said, you know, this is not working. So then I said, well, you know, I want to be in the family business. I'm just so happy. I appreciate art. And, you know, back in '97 when I graduated, my father had opened a new gallery in Chicago. So I went to Chicago. I ran that gallery for 15 years.
Wow.
And I said, you know, I want to open a gallery in a whole new place. And my buddy who lives in Miami, who I went to school with, he had been here since graduation. He said, come to Miami. And I discovered Wynwood. I saw Little Haiti. I wish I would have gotten Little Haiti then, but that's cool. I'm there now. This is my 7th year now.
Tell us a little bit about sort of what your specialties in art are and some of the artists that you work with the most or are the most passionate about at the moment.
Okay, so when the gallery started, we had these master abstractionists like Ed Clark, Frank Bowling, Al Loving, Jack Whitten, Howard Kendall. And these were artists that are in major museums, and my father was like, yo, we can really get these artists into people's homes. Because you know, you go to a museum, you don't think you can have that at home. And so I still work with those artists today. Like, matter of fact, this is Ed Clark behind us, Frank Bowling's over here. Those artists I still work with, but over time, I've started to branch out younger artists.
So I get asked a lot about my record collection, and now it's my turn to get to ask you about your art collection, which I'm sure is expansive.
Well, I mean, I love collecting art, and that becomes a problem sometimes, I would say, because I keep collecting art. And it's hard for me to sell things sometimes because I'm like, no, I want to keep that. So at this point, I'm really trying to say, okay, this is my collection. These are pieces I'm going to sell. Because like my father has hundreds of pieces of art collection. I have a few hundred pieces in my art collection. And that's my #1 passion, collecting art. I mean, the selling is cool, but that's more of a service because I want you to collect art. I want you to have find the joy that I find.
So I'm sure with this move to Little Haiti, you've now got plans for just new exhibitions, new events, and maybe new artists you're working with. So tell us a little bit about that.
The whole point is really to bring all the arts together there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be from different generations, different styles. I just really want to make it really a cool, eclectic space that we all can enjoy. I just love the culture there. I feel like the arts are really moving in that direction. I mean, I just love the camaraderie of the galleries in the neighborhood.
Jumaane, thank you so much for this incredible tour of your beautiful gallery.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about this one last piece here. This one might belong to your dad, and
yeah,
for
well,
now.
it's his piece. His artist Ed Clark. You know, he paints with a push broom once you get that stroke. I've been trying to get it from my pops for a little while, so he might sell it to me one day. You know, people always think he just passes down everything. Like, no.
No, but you go the right route. And for everyone at home who wants to check out what you have coming up, what's the best place online for them to do
Well,
that?
if you just want to hang out and just appreciate the art, that's all good. nncontemporary.com.